We continue now at the top of Daf Chesam at Aleph in Meseches Nazir. This is Nazir Daf 8a. The Mishnah says, Hareini Nazir Kesar Roshi. If a person says, I am a Nazir, like the hairs on my head, Uchafar Haaretz, or like the dust of the earth, Uchachol Hayam, or like the sand at the sea, Hareze Nazir Olam. In such a situation, the person is considered a permanent Nazir. Umegaleach Achas L'shloshim Yom. And according to the Tanna Kama, the person cuts his hair once every 30 days. Rebbe says, Ein ze megaleach achas l'shloshim yom. In this case, he does not cut his hair once every 30 days. Ve'ezeu megaleach achas l'shloshim. In what situation would a person cut his hair once every 30 days? It would be as follows. Ha'omer, if a person says, Hare alai naziros, if he says it's upon me naziros in plural, I'm taking upon myself terms of naziros, kesar roshi, like the hair on my head, uchafar aretz, or like the dust of the earth, uchachol hayam, or like the sand by the sea. In those situations, so then we would say, he's megaleach achas l'shloshim, he cuts his hair once every 30 days. And the Mishnah continues, Hareini Nazir milo habayis or milo hakupa. Let's say a person says, I'm a Nazir according to the capacity of the house or the capacity of the box. So then we check him, we ask him, Imamar achas gedola nazarti. If he says, I made one long Nazirus, that's what I accepted. So Nazir lamed yom. So then we say he's a Nazir for 30 days. V'yamamar stam nazarti. Now, let's say he says that I just made myself a nazir, I had nothing in particular in mind. So rowan and sakupa ki'ilu hi malei chardol. So then we view the box as though it is filled with mustard seed. V'nazir kol yamav, and he'll be a nazir all of the days of his life. And the Mishnah continues, Hareini nazir mikan ad makom ploni. Let's say the person says, I'm a nazir from the amount of time it takes to go from here to a particular place. Omdin kama yomim mikan ad makom ploni. We evaluate how many days does it take to get from here to that place. In pachos milamed yom nazir lamed yom. If it's less than a 30-day trip, he's a nazir for 30 days. V'imlav nazir kaminyan hayomim. And if not, he's going to be a nazir according to the amount of days of the journey. Hareini nazir kaminyan yemos hacham. If he says, I'm a nazir according to the days of the solar calendar. Mona nazirus kaminyan yemos hacham. He counts as nazirus according to the days of the solar calendar. Amar Reb Yehuda says, Mai Sahaya, there was an incident, Kevon Shehish Lemeis, that when he completed it, he died. And Tosas explains, Kaminyan Yemos Hashana, Mona Naziros, Kaminyan Yemos Hashana, according to the days of the year. He counts the Naziros according to the days of the year, meaning to say, Dahainu Shin Samechei Chadashim. What that means is, not 365 days, but he counts 365 months. It's 365 terms of Naziros. Ye a Nazir, that's what it'll be a Nazir for. Naziros achar Naziros, one Naziros term after the other. Umegaleach bentayim umevi carbon, and he shaves between them and he brings a carbon. Kavan dekamer keminyan mashma Naziros velo Naziros arach. Since he says keminyan, that sounds like different terms of Naziros. It doesn't mean one long Naziros. And then the end of the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Ma'aseh became on Shish Lemeis. There was an incident like this, and when he completed it, he died. Rabbi Yehuda l'siyuei l'Tanna Kama ko'asi. Rabbi Yehuda is supporting the position of the Tanna Kama. V'kamer Ma'aseh v'chayvu chachamim Naziros harbe. There was a Ma'aseh like this, he says, where the chachamim said he has to do a lot of terms of Nazirus. Became on Shish Lem kulo meis, and when he finished them all, then he died. And we will take a look at two Rashis over here. Bodkano so imamar achas gedola nazarti hareze nazir shloshim yom. Again, the case is when the person says hareini nazir malo habayis or malo hakupa. He says I'm a nazir according to the capacity of the house or the capacity of the back. So we ask him, and if he says I was making one long nazirus, so then we say he's a nazir for 30 days. Vasulo, and nothing more than that. V'hadamar malo habayis. Now, what did he mean when he said the capacity of the house? Mashma kilo amar arichali milsa kimelo habayis o kimelo kupa. Similar to what we said earlier in the Masechta, it's as if he's saying that it is considered to me as long as the capacity of the house or the capacity of the box. Meaning to say, the 30 days seems like a very long time in my eyes. And Rashi continues, V'imamar stam nadarti. Now, if he says, I had nothing particular in mind, nase kilu amar melo chardol. So then we say that he's really saying he's filling it with mustard seed. V'nase kol yom of nazir. Then he's going to be a nazir his whole life. Te'amrino naziros keminyan garine chardol shabo. We say that he took upon himself a naziros according to the amount of mustard seed there. Kibel olav, that's what he accepted. Ve'en lam afsaka kol yamav. And there would be no interruption throughout his lifetime. And the Gemara says, Rowan and Sakupa ki'ilu malei chardol. We view the box as if it's full of mustard seed. V'nazir kol yamav. And we say in that case again, he's a nazir his entire life. So the Gemara asks, V'amai, why is this the case? Why don't we view it as if it's filled with cucumbers and gourds? And then there would be a solution for him. He would not have to be his entire lifetime a Nazir. We could simply say it means he was, let's say, 10 terms of Nazirus, and when that would be concluded, then his Nazirus would be finished. And the Gemara continues, Amar Chizkiya says, B'machlokes shenuya v'Rebbi Shimon. This is actually a machlokes Tanoim, and our Mishnah follows the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. The Amar Rabbi Shimon says, Adam machnes es atzmo ledavar shesveiko chamar mivade. A person will enter himself into a situation, even in situations where if it's ambiguous, it's actually stricter than a situation of certainty. And Rashi over here says, Rabbi Shimon hi damar adam machnes atzmo ledavar shesveiko chamar mivade deilu nazir vade. The idea over here is when you have a nazir vade, so megaleach umevi carbon v'nechol. He's able to shave and then he brings a carbon. V'ilu al sveiko. But when you have a situation of a nazir who's a suffix nazir, lo matzi megalech, he can't shave. Dachim mefarish beilu mutarim Meseches nedarim. This is explained in Meseches nedarim. And the Gemara continues, D'Tanya, as we learned in a brayso, Hareni Nazir al manas sheyehei b'kri zeh meya kor. Let's say a person says, I'm a Nazir, on the condition that this pile has 100 kor. V'halachu mitzah shenignav o she'aved. Then he goes and he finds it was stolen, it was lost. There's no way to determine how much was in that pile. So Rabbi Shimon Oser, again, this is Rabbi Shimon who's machmir. Rabbi Shimon says he's prohibited. Shesafik nazirus lahachmir. You have a situation of doubt over here by nazirus, and we have to be strict. And Rabbi Yehuda matir, Rabbi Yehuda says it's mutter. Shesafik nazirus lahakil. He says in a situation of safik by nazirus, we are lenient. And Rashi over here explains, Hareini Nazir Rabbi Shimon Oser. In this case, we're going to be strict according to Rabbi Shimon. Shechayev ben Nazirus, he's chayev in terms of the Nazirus. The hoel to have a suffix, he have a meya kor. Since there is a doubt over here, we don't know did it have meya kor or not. Amrinan to have a vaday meya kor, we assume it did have. But have a Nazir, and he's going to be a Nazir. Shakal suffix Nazirus lahachmer. The point over here is that when you have a suffix in Nazirus, we are strict. Tesveiko ben Nazir chamer mivado. Again, when you have a situation of suffix by a Nazir, that's generally stricter than vaday. The ilu vaday shelo hayu bo meya kor, for example. Let's say it was vaday, there wasn't 100 kor, so lo have a Nazir, he's not a Nazir. Hashad have a suffix amrin the Naziru. Now that we're in a situation of doubt, we say he is a Nazir. The point over here is you have a situation of suffix, Rabbi Shimon will be strict. Hachinami b'masnisin, and the same is true in our Mishnah. The hoel de sveikuhu de lo yadirni adayta de malaya kishuin ibechardel. Since we have a doubt over here, we don't know, did he mean it was filled with cucumbers? Did he mean that it was filled with mustard seed? So kamar, so amrin and bay, safik nazirus lahachmir. So we say in such a situation, safik nazirus, we are strict. Ucheman de malaya chardel kamar ve'ein lo takon, and we say it's as if it was filled with mustard seed, and there is no solution for him, he's going to be a Nazir forever. Aval aliba demando amar shekol safik nazirus lahakil. But if you'd follow the other mandamar that says that by a safik nazirus we're lenient, l'didei amrinan roan osak kilu malaya kishuin. According to him, we would say that we view the box as if it's filled with kishuin, with cucumbers. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Rabbi Yochanan says, Afilu Tema Rabbi Yehuda. You could even say that our Mishnah follows the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, who again, in what we previously quoted, Rabbi Yehuda was lenient, but the distinction is as follows. Hasam lo naches le nazirus. Over there, he hasn't descended into a situation of nazirus. But over here, naches le nazirus. He certainly is going to be a nazir, at the very least, in this situation. Rashi over here explains, Rabbi Yochanan Amar Afilu Temak Rabbi Yehuda, the Hasam time Amay Amar Rabbi Yehuda the Safik Nazirus Lahakil, meaning in the case of the Mea Kor, why did Rabbi Yehuda say that Safik Nazirus were lenient? The Dilma lo have a Mea Kor, maybe there wasn't 100 Kor. Velo Nachas Lein le Nazirus Klal, and if that were the case, he's not a Nazir at all. If you have a situation of doubt, you don't make him a Nazir. And the reason for that is we don't want him to end up bringing a carbon which is not really a carbon. He's going to end up bringing chulin to the Beis HaMikdash when he completes the Nazirus. And so we say in that situation we are lenient. We say he's not a Nazir. But over here, when you're talking about the capacity, whether it's mustard seed or whether it's cucumbers, Kevan de Naches Leila Nazirus, he's for sure going to be a Nazir. The question just is how long. We know it's either going to be the amount as is filled with cucumbers or the amount as if it was filled with mustard seed. Nazirus Chayeli Olah, either way he's going to be a Nazir. So once he's already a Nazir, how are we going to remove him from that Nazirus? That's why in this case, even Rabbi Yehuda would admit that we're strict, and we say that he's a Nazir according to the amount of mustard seed, and therefore for all of the days of his life, he's going to be forbidden in wine. And so again, that's what the Gemara means, Hacha Nachas Leila Nazirus, here where we know he's going to be a Nazir, but Mailis Luke Minei. So how do we remove it from him? We can't shorten that term of Nazirus in this situation, even according to Rabbi Yehuda. But the Gemara says, Amailo, why not? Let's view the kupa as if it is filled with cucumbers and gourds. And again, then we will have this solution. Why not end the Nazirus? And the Gemara says, you can't think that Nazirus hu dekabel ilove, he accepted a Nazirus upon himself. And Rashi over here explains, why not remove the Nazirus? And we should just say that it is filled with cucumbers. And when he finishes the Nazirus according to the number of cucumbers of the capacity of the box, whatever can fit inside the kupa, and he brings a carbon, it'll be finished. We should just be considered from that point in time as if he didn't become a Nazir. And in that way it would be a solution. And the Gemara says, Halom Matzas Amrit, the Nazirus Kibalolov. You can't say that because he accepted a Nazirus upon himself. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Ches Amud Beis.